Hello and welcome. I am Campbell and you are of course amazing. Now today's video is about the stories we tell ourselves. You know, those little scripts that we run over and over in our minds and how they control our lives. So with these stories we can talk ourselves into or out of anything. So what are they? Where did they come from? And should we even listen to these stories? Well, stay tuned and we'll get into it. Whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you are right. Henry Ford. Okay, so we all have stories we tell ourselves, stories of how we have succeeded or failed in the past, stories about how creative, smart or athletic we are, and stories about who we are as a person and what we are able or not able to achieve. These stories, our internal dialogue, literally guide us through life. If we believe we are good at sports, then we will play more sports. That in turn will make us a better sports person. In comparison, if we believe we are not good at art, then we will probably never put any time into creating art. So we will not build any skills and we will stay not good at art. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Everyone has a story they have written that tells them who they are. The problem is that many of these stories are limiting, but because we believe these stories to be true, we act on them. Now, we all know people who were not the most skilled, gifted, or talented in their field, who became the world's best through sheer belief and taking actions based on those beliefs. For example, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, he, of course, had some certain skills to become Mr. Universe, but he put in a lot of work, obviously. But after Mr. Universe, he had a story in his head that said, I will be Hollywood's #1 movie star. But when he went for auditions, he was literally laughed at. He was told no one would ever hire him because his muscles made him look comical, no one could pronounce his name, and his accent was laughable. But Arnold didn't listen. He was busy telling himself a different story. And that story was that he would be Hollywood's #1 actor. So Arnold started going out to Hollywood parties, uninvited, and he would just show up, and when asked who he was, he would say, I am Arnold Schwarzenegger, the best actor in Hollywood. And he was led into most of the parties. Inside, he repeated this mantra to anyone who asked who he was. The result of this was that his name started to circulate in Hollywood through all the different casters and directors and helped him land some roles. Now, fast forward to 1992, which was just 13 years after his first movie role, and he was in fact Hollywood's biggest draw card with the movie Terminator 2. And Arnold achieved this and many more amazing feats just by changing the story of who he was, the story that he was telling himself of who he was. So where do these stories about ourselves come from? Well, the crazy part is that most of these stories aren't even yours. They were given to you by your parents, family, friends, education system and society. And you see, when we are born, we are essentially a clean slate, eager to learn how to function in this new reality, so we absorb everything we see, hear and interact with no filter. So where do these stories about ourselves come from? Well, the crazy part is that most of these stories aren't even yours. They were given to you by your parents, family, friends, the education system and society in general. See, when we are born, we are essentially a clean slate, eager to learn how to function in this new reality. So we absorb everything we see, hear, and interact with without any filters. So if we're shown lots of affection as a child, then we will build the belief that affection is normal and it's a kind and loving world. You see, we literally build our perception of the world from the world that surrounds us. As we know, we live in a predominantly negative society, a society that focuses on what we can't do rather than what we can. It sets rules and boundaries we are expected to stay within and has the attitude, it's better to be safe than sorry. This view of the world is pushed on us at every turn by well-meaning parents, friends and family who just want to protect us, by schools, authority figures and the government who want us to stay between the lines and just do what everybody else does, and a mentality that says, be happy with what you have. What if you try and fail? You have commitments, etc., etc. So basically, focus on the obstacles and not the prize is the general narrative. We all have these negative programs that hold us back from achieving our goals and dreams. So how do we overcome them? Well, the program we have written is a story, the story of you, written by you. And this story creates what is called your self-image, or the way you see yourself. And this self-image is the governor of what you will do in your life. A governor is a device that regulates a machine. It tells the machine to go faster or to slow down, to heat up, cool down, or to shut down altogether. It gives a machine the boundaries in which to operate within, just as our self-image gives us the boundaries we operate in. If your self-image says that you are outgoing, popular, and you love people, then you will act on that, just as you would act on a story that said you were shy, awkward, and people are scary. Now, we all know people who really want something, who work hard towards a goal, but for some reason they always miss the mark, fall short, fail, or quit. You may have experienced this yourself. Others seem to just sail through life, hitting all their goals and having fun along the way. Now, why is this? Well, again, it's all about self-image. If your internal dialogue says money is hard to get, then for you it will be. If you believe success is for other people, then it is so. It doesn't matter how much we want things or even how hard we work for them. What counts is what we believe we can have, do, and be. Imagine for a moment the way that the phrase, life is a struggle and money is scarce, makes you feel. Now compare that with, I live in a world filled with abundance and excitement. See, one is disempowering, depressing, and hopeless, while the other is empowering and gives hope for the future. Which one would you rather have running through your mind? So to change your self-image, you do need to change the story you're telling yourself. So to do this, start with actually writing it out on a piece of paper. Write out who you are going to become. Are you going to be more confident, stronger, a better communicator, a leader, 20 kilograms lighter maybe, married to an amazing partner, or maybe you're living the laptop lifestyle on a tropical beach somewhere. Because whatever it is that you desire, be it physical, mental, or emotional, you can create it by creating a new story. Put some time into it because, after all, it is your life. Where do you live? Are you in a nice house? Are you in an apartment? Maybe you're out in the country somewhere or on the beach. Who are you with? Who do you spend your time with? Are you with your family? Are you with your current partner? Are you with a new partner? Are you, finally with the partner of your dreams? What do you do with your time? Are you working? Are you retired? Have you got your own business? Are you maybe doing charity work or traveling the world? How do you feel? Are you happy with this life? Are you contented? Now that you have everything you want and you can create it, focus on how that makes you feel. How's that going to make you feel when you get there? Now, getting to specifics too, guys, what can you smell? Maybe you're a tea drinker and you're sitting at a cafe overlooking the ocean and you can smell the tea and, I don't know, the croissants, or maybe you can smell the ocean water, or maybe you're in the bush and you can smell the trees. What can you hear? Can you hear birds chirping or kids playing? What car do you drive? Have you got your ultimate fantasy car? What is it? Is it a Ferrari or a Porsche, or maybe it's a Bentley? Maybe it's a bicycle. So get into some detail, guys. Spend some time and really create your life. Create your ultimate average day. Now, when you've written it out, what you want, when you've written out what you want and who you want to be, start to see it in your mind. Start to visualize your ultimate day. And if you do this every day for 10 to 15 minutes, and really focus on feeling the feelings, how does it feel to be at the place you want to be finally, living the life you want, living in the house you want, driving the car you want, spending your time with the people you want to spend it to. How does that feel? Okay, and then really start to believe, start to focus on and believe and get excited that this day is coming closer to you. Every day is coming closer and closer day by day. And this is how we change our internal story and our internal self-image. And through that, you will change your outcomes, guys. So build the story, build the emotion, build the belief. All right. Thank you for listening, and I hope you got some something practical from this message. Please leave me a comment, like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. And as always, guys, you have greatness inside you, so get out there and share it with the world. Until next time, I've been Campbell. Have an amazing day.